explain I'm going to explain what prime numbers. Okay. So in today's class, write a program in Python. Okay. To list a prime numbers. To list a prime numbers. To list a prime numbers within a given range. In a given range. Okay. So this is the question. Okay. Write a program in Python to list a prime numbers within a given range. Okay. So if a range given from start to end, within that, how many primary that is what your primary numbers. Okay. Prime numbers are not primary number, prime numbers, and a list to be prepared. Okay. So first of all, we need to write, as already we have written in the previous section, def is a keyword to create a function. We will create a function which will find given number is prime or not. First of all, same, okay? And name is prime means whether it is prime or not. Num. Num, why I have given, I explained here. Num means it is a variable. Every time, whatever the number will be checked within the given range. So that is num is a variable. It holds that number. Every time for loop goes through a number, that number will be stored in this num variable. Okay, to check. Next is what we need to write a condition. Condition is that first of all, if num is equal, okay, so less than or equal to less than or equal to 1. So that moment, if num given number less than equal to 1, so return what? False. What do you mean of this? Already we have studied. If number less than or equal to 1, return false means not prime number. Given number is not prime number. Okay. Not prime. Next. For I in so we are taking generally I want to create one user defined function which will to find out what one function. This function is underscore prime function. Function no need to write brackets. Use it to find the prime number. Okay. Prime number. So one more function I will create here. First of all, structure. Def one more function. Given range, na? Get underscore prime, okay, get prime underscore list. Okay, one more function. So within this, we will write the statements. Okay, first, if number less than or equal to 1, that moment return false. Okay, next, it needs to check. It needs to check what it needs to check. So every time it goes through the numbers. So I told you that what to check back whether the number is prime or not. So from 2 to range. Okay. For I in range. Okay. So range 2 comma. So I told you that what every time it will check square root of a number. So square root of a number means from 2 to square root of a number, within this 2 to square root of a number, if any number is dividing the given number, so that is not prime. Already we have studied. Okay. Next in here what? Int. Why int function I have used? If float is there, it will convert the int function. So int 0.5 star means exponentiation of exponentiation of what?
Num, sir.
Num. You're right. Num. Num exponential of 0.5. Okay. 0.5. Okay. So num given number double star means exponentiation of 0.5 means half. Half means square root. Okay. Now, here I told you that plus 1. Why plus 1? I told you that it is giving error. Red mark means column. Okay. That moment, what happened? Try to understand. For I in range. Okay. So given number. Okay. I means what? I is a index variable. I is a index variable. It takes, okay, suppose first number 2. Okay. So that will be stored in this number. Okay. And this equal to what? So whenever a given number is there, so this is the initial number. So if any number, given number, so if I want to find out that whether it is prime number or not, so up to square root is enough. Up to square root is enough. So from 2 to square root of number. So that moment, if num remainder, to find the remainder of I is equal to 0. What I told you that return false. Means comment here, not prime. Return true. So up to this what happened? Try to understand. If given number remainder, okay, if given number is divisible by I means starting number, okay, range enough from, so this is what 2 to square root. So the first number, that is I index variable stored in I. Given number is this num. So if given number divisible by I, that moment remainder, if we are getting 0, return false, not prime. Otherwise, return true means prime. Up to this, in the previous class, we have studied. Okay, here prime. This statement returns prime number. This statement returns not prime. It gives the remainder 0. Okay, if 0 I is index variable, it will hold the starting number. Okay, if a number is less than equal to return false, means always prime number has two factors. So if less than equal to 1, it's not a prime. Return false, not prime. Okay, next. Come to the next point. Now, one more function, as I told you that is what to check what is our question. As per your question, you need to write a program in Python to create a list. To create a list of prime numbers within a given range. So given range, so you write here start, comma, end. Start, comma, end. So accordingly, we will take the input from the user. Start is a variable, int input bracket, ask the user to enter a number. Enter a number. So this is what 1. So you copy this. You paste here. So this is end. So okay. Enter a number. Enter another number. So start to end. Okay. Int input, enter a number. So whenever user enter a number, that will be stored in start. Another number stored in end. These two will be the variables, means parameters for this function start. So as the user enters the numbers, they will be, these values will be passed to these parameters. Now these are variables, but whenever the variables passed into a function, they are called what? Parameters. Parameters, okay. So whenever variables, these are variables to, whenever they pass it to a function, they're called parameters. Now, okay, values will be forwarded to here. Now values are here. Now range given to this function. So this function needs to do what? It needs to create a list of prime number. Within that range, it needs to find the prime numbers and it needs to create a list. So first create a list. So that is empty list. Huh? So suppose list is equal to, list means what? Empty list. Empty list always will be represented in doubles. This square brackets. One list created, it is empty list. You mention here empty list, okay? Empty. Now it is an empty list. So now this function, what it needs to do, it needs to check the, every time it needs to check what? Check the number. Every time it takes the number, okay, and that will be, it is to be checked whether it is the prime number. If it is prime number, and it is to be added to this list. So we can write like list dot append, okay. List dot append is equal to what? list dot append is equal to, so let us see what happened here. List. Okay, whenever it finds a prime number that is to be added to the list dot append. So append is a method. By that we can see, suppose if whenever you keep dot operator, we will get all that methods. Okay. M means method. These are all methods. So many methods are there. Pop method, remove method, count, extend method. These are all the list methods. Okay. So append method will be used here to add. There is no any add. Okay. Append. Here, if you want to add any item to your list, there is no any add method. If you write add, so it is also method, but it has somewhat another syntax. So I think it is better, okay, to use append, okay. Now, let us see what happened. Next, this list I have created, okay. Now it is an empty list I have created. I want to use the for loop here. So num in range, num in range. So whether it will be execute for, okay. We will take like this, dot, okay, comma, and plus one. So what is the meaning of this? Why it is giving now? So for loop I have used it here. So for loop means what happened here? For loop, this for loop navigates through the range function used, navigates from start number given by the user to end number. But that moment what that will be excluded. So plus one. Okay. So next what happened here? So next we need to call that function, starting function is underscore prime. Okay. That moment I am calling this member. Okay. Passing the variable as num. Num is what? I told you that num is a variable. It holds that number. For loop going through which number? For loop going through which number? That is num variable. Okay. So I am calling this function. So now it is to be where under this, whenever I am calling this function, that function will check whether a number is prime. By this, I am calling this function. So whenever it finds a prime number, that will be append to what? List dot append. Okay, this is what your list
మనం
dot
తీసుకున్న నెంబరు లిస్ట్ లో యాడ్ అవుతుంది సార్.
add అవుతుంది. But append is a method, na? So here that number will be passed to this. Okay, understood that. So why? Because append is a method. Method or function must have brackets. So that number, this function checking for from start to end, every time it goes to a number that will be stored in this num variable. And if it is by this function, if it will be checked as a prime number, then it will be added to that number. That variable holds whatever the number that will be append to this list. Okay. That is what. Now, next what? Return Okay, list. Up to this is okay, we have written. Now, next word. So to, okay, now, next what we need to do that, whether everything is going, okay, if any error is there, it indicates here. So nothing is going wrong. I hope that the code to be run. Okay. Then after, if we are doing any wrong, so our interpreter will indicate that, don't worry. Okay, this is the input. We need to mention everywhere. So getting input, taking, asking, get, taking input from, taking input from user. Okay, this is taking input from user. So this is the function to get prime list. This is the function. What is the use of here? What is the use of this function? To get a list of prime numbers. Okay. To get a list of prime numbers. This is what somewhat. Okay. Next is what this function checks is prime. This function use it to find the prime number. That's why I have called the function here. So here prime number will be added to the list. Prime number added. No need to comment everywhere. Added to. No need to comment everywhere for your understanding. Prime number added to list. Okay, this is okay. Now, so next. So let us run this code. Let us see what happened here. Enter a number 8. 8 is so old code is running. So I want to, where should I go here? The first code, na? This code diff underscore diff. So this will be deleted. Okay, this is the old code. Okay, now this is today's topic. So these classes are being conducted under my Lakshmi Narayana Krishna Foundation. Lakshmi Narayana Krishna Foundation, thrice of a week. Okay, these are free classes. Under my, these classes will be conducted under my Lakshmi Narayana Krishna Foundation. Okay. Every week, 3 days of a week. Okay. Anybody can attend 3 days, 3 days of a week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday at 0800 PM in Zoom. In Zoom, okay. These are Zoom classes. So now, so old, that is what we have written what? One more code, that is what? So that is being executed. So we need to remove that code. Otherwise, remove, otherwise you keep comment, no issue. Not comment. Okay. Up to where? up to here. So total code kept under comments. So now come here. This is my code. What happened here? Now check, enter a number 2, enter another number 25. So we need to write one more code here. So it is asking for it is prompting primes. So then what happened? Whenever user feeding the numbers, so list to be created, na? List to be created. So we need to get enter a number, okay? So we need to call this function, okay? So we will call this function. So that equal to get underscore prime underscore list. So we need to get that list, na? So start, comma, end. Now, so this list, na, that will be kept in a variable. So we will do simply write prime. Okay. As it is, I have written. If I have written any wrong, so that will give error. Okay. Now print. Now print. Take a print. Okay. Print formatted string. So formatted string. Okay. Prime get. So here, what I did here, this total function. 10 minutes, I need to close this class. Okay. Prime number list. So here I will call what? I will call what? Prime number, this one. Okay. Variable. So list will be called here. Prime. Formatted string I have used prime number list. Prime I have called. Now let us see what happened here. Enter a number initially 2. Okay. Enter another number 25. So prime number list 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, 20. So what happened? 2, 3, 4. 2, 3 not listed here. Huh? 2 is also prime number because it has only 2 factors. 3 is a prime number. 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. Okay, this is okay. But what about the 2, 3? So it is missing 2, comma 3. prime numbers. List is created. So come here. What is the code? Understood, Tejasri, what happened here? Understood or not? What happened?
2 నుంచి 25 మధ్య ఉన్న ప్రైమ్ నెంబర్స్ అన్ని ఇస్తాను సార్.
But what about 2, 3? 2, 3 also to be added, na? Because what we have written in this here, I have written from 2 to. So 2 also to be considered. And start, end. So I have given start to end 25. So whenever 2 will be taken, that will be stored in num. Num is a variable. Okay, no need. Num is a variable. So every time it goes, the first number will be stored in num. Okay. Okay, we need to check back that what is happening now. Every time it is giving okay. Okay, def is okay. Less than, if we enter less than equal to 1. Equal to 1. If I enter equal to 1, what it says? Run this one. So if enter a number 1, it asks another number 9. Prime number list 5, 7, 9. But what about the 2, 3? That is to be checked, na? That is very important. Okay, we have written the code well, but 2, 3 to be added. That is very important, huh? Okay. Start and plus 1. If I remove this one, what happened? Let us see. If I don't want to add 2, okay. 25, what happened? 5, 7, 9, 11, same. If I have not added plus 1, so there is no any problem. Here is okay if he is prime, that function is being called. Here, which function? Function is being called, okay? Function is called here. Which function? The function we have created to find the given number is prime or not. This is the starting function. So that is being called, the code we have written here. So what is this num? Tejasri, can you explain the code? Can you explain?
నమ్ అనేది పారామీటర్ సార్.
Huh?
నమ్ అనేది పారామీటర్ తీసుకున్నాం సార్ ఇక్కడ.
అట్లా కాదు. ఇది చెప్పగలగాలి ప్రతి ఒక్కటి. ఇదంటే నేను చెప్పాను వేరియబుల్ నువ్వు ఎంటర్ చేసావు, అది దీంట్లో స్టోర్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ 2 to 25 అంటే దీంట్లో స్టార్ట్ లో 2 ఉంది, 25 ఎండ్ లో ఉంది. సో రేంజ్ అక్కడ ఏమవుతుంది, ఇక్కడ 2 to 25 అవుతుంది. ఓకే, అవుతుందా?
ఎస్ సార్.
2 to 25 అయిన తర్వాత నెక్స్ట్ ఏమవుతుంది, ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ నమ్ లిస్ట్ నువ్వు ఎంటీ లిస్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసావు. ఈ నమ్ అంటే ఇది వచ్చేసి ఇక్కడ చెప్తున్నావు 2 to 25. నువ్వు ఏది ఎంటర్ చేస్తే అక్కడ ఆ రేంజ్ వస్తుంది. రేంజ్ ఫంక్షన్ వాడాం కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ ఐ బదులు ఐ వాడతాం కదా మనం, జనరల్ గా ఐ అంటాం, ఐ బదులు నమ్ అన్నాం. ఇప్పుడు ఇదేంటిది, ఇక్కడ ఐ కూడా రాసుకోవచ్చు నువ్వు, కానీ నేను నమ్ అన్నాను. అంటే ఏమవుద్ది, నమ్ అంటే ఇది ఏ నంబర్ అయితే ఫస్ట్ లూప్ ఫస్ట్ నంబర్కి వెళ్ళుద్ది. 2 to 25 లో ఫస్ట్ 2 తీసుకుంటుంది. అప్పుడు నమ్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ 2. అప్పుడు ఆ 2 వచ్చేసి దేనికి ఫార్వర్డ్ అవ్వాలి? ఈ ఈజ్ అండర్ స్కోర్ ప్రైమ్. సో దట్ num value to be I have passed as a parameter. So initially 2. So 2 num variable holds the 2 number. That 2 is passed to function. So now that 2 function ఇక్కడ ఏమొస్తుంది? ఇక్కడ num. So 2 divided by I. I ఏంటి? ఇక్కడ ఏంటి? Initially 1. So initially what? 2. Sorry, initially 2. 2 పెట్టాం కాబట్టి 2 తీసుకుంటాం. సో 2 డివైడెడ్ బై 2. అప్పుడు రిమైండర్ ఎంత వస్తుంది? 0. రిమైండర్ 0. సో రిమైండర్ 0 అయితే అదేం చెప్తుంది? అది ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఏ ప్రైమ్ అని చెప్తుంది. ఇట్స్ నాట్ ఏ ప్రైమ్. రిటర్న్ ఫాల్స్. ఇప్పుడు నేను దీన్ని కానీ చేంజ్ చేశాను అనుకో, దీన్ని ట్రూ చేశాను అనుకో, అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది చూద్దాం. And return false. Okay. Okay, prime, not prime. So now run this code, let us see. Enter 2, 25. All even numbers are prime. Huh? All even numbers are prime. So I want to do one thing for number in range here. And suppose if I have entered +1 here. Okay, now enter 2, 25. Still we are getting all even numbers are prime numbers. So it is never possible. All even numbers are prime numbers. Because 4 has, how many factors 4 has? Tejasri, how many factors 4 has? 4 has how many factors? Tejasri, how many factors? 4. 4 has how
2,
many
sir.
factors? Huh?
2, sir.
No. 4 has 3 factors. Why? See.
4 1s are 2 2s are
4 has how many factors? I told you that 1 is every number has 1 factor. Okay, 1 is the